Hey guys, it's Drac, and I am just a huge fan of the Crota Raid on Destiny, and as a fan of the Crota Raid and a prop maker, I wanted to build a Necrochasm, and the opportunity presented itself twofold. One, I have a client all lined up to receive this Necrochasm, and then two, I found an excellent partner in a company based out of the UK but with printing services all over called My Mini Factory, who have already done, I guess, the prototype work and have the economies of scale to be able to produce the pieces for a Necrochasm. So within this parcel are a lot of various bits and bobs that will go into making the Necrochasm itself. So these appear to be parts of the trigger mechanism and such. That looks about right. So it's almost going to be like a fun little 3D puzzle that I get to put together. And it should be a 1-to-1 scale. And since we'll be finishing it in a special kind of way, it doesn't really matter what colors these pieces are. So I've been sent many pieces in many different configurations and colors. It looks like this one is yellow. That's kind of cool. And so all of the Crota weapons have a really interesting design to them in that they have like this almost Geiger kind of biomechanical look to them. They don't look necessarily like weapons. They're very interesting. So this is almost like a stingray fin coming off the back end, and then these will be more pieces. So I can't wait to puzzle fit this together, but I wanted to specifically thank My Mini Factory and let you guys know that this is the starting or launch point of the prop, is ordering from somebody with a large enough, because I could not handle this with the 3D printer that I have access to, certainly nothing this size. So I will be assembling this, and then I'll show you what it looks like together, and then we'll prime it and do all of the works that we usually do. So as I inspect the kit, I see that there are lots of holes here, which would be ideal for alignment, and I'm certain that's the reason that they've been printed into the mold, or the print, but I intend to use dowel rod, and I'm going to need a slightly thicker dowel rod to mirror the holes that they're using, but I found some dowel rod, and I just wanted to point out that that seems to be the most ideal way to make sure that whatever adhesive you use, everything lines up properly. I will be using a 2-part epoxy, which has about a 5-minute workable time, because I want this to be done and cured by the end of the evening so that I can start painting it. Check it out, all those Legos paid off. What? So it took me 4 hours to get the entire Necrochasm put together. You can see where the liquid epoxy is and everything. Now we have to answer the fun question, why are we in Drac's shower? Well, the answer to that is simple. Once you do something like this, you have a little bit of spill, it's almost unavoidable, and the best way to deal with that, as well as level out a lot of the 3D print lines, is to wet sand. So I'm about to take a shower with the Necrochasm, where I'll probably wet sand it for about 30 minutes, get it all down to the same, not only tact, so it'll take paint the same way, but also really buff down some of these flash points and edges, make it look like one consistent consecutive piece, and that should be really cool. It is kind of fun. It looks almost like a yacht, like a futuristic space yacht, with the colors as it is and being kind of rough with all the gloss and glaze on it. In fact, it might be fun to... No, I won't do that. Anyway. So I actually couldn't resist. I tried, but the SS Necrochasm is just too much fun. It's like... just absolutely a blast. It's a shame now that we have to turn it into a replica. Oh well. So here we have our Necrochasm after a couple of coats of vinyl dye and a full batch of engine grade enamel, and so I think that it's solid. I wish I'd had more time to polish this. Luckily the Necrochasm kind of looks organic in a way, so a lot of this like fluidation splash won't be too much of an issue, and now we just have to come in and kind of dry brush it so it looks not quite so finished and polished like this. I'm going to do that with silver so it kind of looks like the metal that all of the various Crota Raid weapons are made out of, and then we're going to come in, and if those of you who remember my Strife and how I did the glow in the dark on that, I intend to do the same sort of like Mod Podge glow in the dark enamel mixture and kind of dab that in here and then up here, because I can't make it look like it's on fire, but I can make it glow in the dark, and that should be just as cool. So I ended up dry brushing the blaster twice because when I did it in silver it was just too bright in some places, and so to darken it up I dry brushed over it in gunmetal, and the finish that I got makes me pretty happy. I'm very happy with it. I wish I had more texture like this actually. I was very upset about it at first, but now I think that the parts that just look hyper smooth are almost awkward because they don't fit that real Oryx theme. So I'm going to go ahead and add the glow-in-the-dark portions now, and then I'm going to let it bake out here in the wonderful Georgia heat, and it should be ready for DragonCon to see its new owner. Alright guys, so this is the Necrochasm in its final form. You'll have to excuse me, I'm in my hotel for DragonCon since that's where I'm delivering this, and I'll show you that segment next. But I want to do a quick overview before I gave it away. This is actually, I thought it would be bigger, and then I played with it in the game on a friend's profile, and I realized that it's actually to scale. This is about correct. So this is kind of blocky because this is supposed to be the magazine well, leaving room for some of this glow-in-the-dark to peek through. And then this is, of course, a custom glow-in-the-dark blend. It's supposed to be kind of choppy like this, and it looks really, really great in the dark. It is that kind of old-school glow-in-the-dark where you do have to wait for it to charge in sunlight, so it's got to get some UV before it gives some UV. But I think that overall the profile and styling of the, not blaster because it doesn't actually shoot anything functionally, but is quite close and very, very cool. I love the foregrip. I think that it's just a really neat blaster, and the game accuracy of it is fun. I'm actually very curious why Guardians don't like melee with it, because this is a pretty vicious front end if I do say so myself. But that is this. I'll show you maybe the glow-in-the-dark feature at work. If not, I'll try and take some photos. It's very hard to get it to film properly, and then I'll show you giving it to its eventual owner, who I hope will love and enjoy it. So this is Kat of Babylon calling, and you can take the blindfold off now.
Can I open my eyes?
Yeah, you can obviously open your eyes.
Holy shit! You have children on your program.
It's okay.
So
I make exceptions for guests on the channel.
That is so sick.
So I thought it was small at first, but this is actually a 1-to-1 size scale of the Necrochasm.
It's perfect.
I'm so glad you like it.
I'm like on the verge of tears, but I don't want to ruin the pain.
She's female Spike today, not a Guardian, but I'll get more footage of her with it in her hunter outfit. Yes.
I've got Crota gear and stuff.
It's perfect then. It'll fit in with your Crota gear. Oh, I'm so glad you like it.